I'm Rich Newman, and I'm the founder of Elsinore Productions and producer, director, first camera guy, and jack of all trades, and the co-founder of Paranormal Incorporated, ghost hunting group from Memphis, Tennessee.
Um, Thank you. What to you should be considered paranormal?
Well, in the literal sense, paranormal means above the normal. So typically anything that can't be explained by mainstream science or even just common sense typically falls in the realm of the paranormal. But I think for practical purposes, most paranormal events can be classified as either cryptozoology based, ufology, meaning UFOs, or hauntings.
What fascinates you about paranormal phenomena?
Well, I think it's what fascinates everyone. It's sort of the exploring the unknown. It's probably the last big frontier now that the planet has been pretty much explored. So we have to move on to other realms. And the other world is fascinating, I think, to everyone, but especially to me. And a lot of that's just, I've never had a rock hard belief system as far as religion and things like that. So for me, this is just as a spiritual quest as, say, a person who's pursuing their own Christian beliefs or Muslim beliefs and so on.
How long have you been a paranormal investigator?
Formally, our group has only been together for about 3.5 years. But I have been personally ghost hunting for about 12 years to 15, depending on how you want to call the early days when my co-founder and I, Mike, would sort of figure out there was a haunted place somewhere and grab some recorders and just head down there and check it out, you know. So if we include those, about 15 years. I don't think that we considered ourselves true paranormal investigators till about 12 years ago, and the group's about 3.5 years old.
Well, what in your life introduced you to the paranormal and convinced you that entities are real?
When I was a kid, we actually lived in a house, and it had a very strange, and I still don't know if it was a haunting, but every day my closet door in my bedroom would open by itself. I mean, it was nothing dramatic. It's just at some point in the evening while you were watching TV or reading a book or something, you could actually hear the doorknob just and the door would open up. And I mean, you know, you would test it, you know, push it close and watch it again, and it wouldn't reopen. And you could, you know, make sure it was really tight and, you know, it was locked and everything. And it would still, every night, you know, it would open like clockwork. And friends would come over so they could experience it. And it was interesting because sometimes you could wait for it and it wouldn't do it. And the second you would say, I give up on it and turn off the light to go to bed, you know, it would do it. So it's just, I think it was that mystery, you know, what's doing this, you know, and it kind of got me into the whole thing. And, you know, to this day, I don't know if it was a haunting or one of the world's weirdest doors, but, you know, it got me, it sparked my interest. As far as, what was the second part, believing, for some I believed in it. I don't know that I've never not believed in it. I think the idea of ghosts has always been a reasonable one to me. Maybe we in the field and even people out there, you know, sort of disagree what a ghost is or what the best way is to figure out what a ghost is. But I don't think there's ever been really a question to me as far as if there's a ghost. I've always sort of believed in them.
Well, how did you evolve into a writer and filmmaker about the paranormal?
Well, I've always been a writer. I used to enter screenplay contests and short story contests and things when I was in like 5th grade. So I've been writing my whole life. I don't think it dawned on me to actually write about the paranormal until we started shooting this movie, Ghosts of War. And I started talking to some publishers about doing sort of a companion book that would be on haunted Civil War sites. Well, we figured out there's a lot of haunted Civil War books out there. And by a lot, I mean a lot of them. So they said, well, why not just write a book on haunted places that people can actually go to? Because one of the big gripes out there has been, you know, we buy these big volumes of haunted places, but then they end up being private property, or the places have burnt down and they're not there anymore, or they're not safe, you know, things like that. So we decided to make the Ghost Hunters Field Guide, which would be a state-by-state listing of places anyone could go to. You know, if you wanted to get up today, you could turn to a random page in the book, pick up the spot, and you could go there today if you wanted to. So, and we managed to find over 1,100 places that fit that criteria. So there's a lot of hauntings out there.
How can you tell us more about your Ghosts of War film that's coming out soon?
Well, we're doing the last bit of post right now, which is the titles and credits and that sort of thing. We're going to do some audience test screenings in September and October, just so we can get some feedback on the movie and make some adjustments if necessary. And also as a way to pay back some of the locations for allowing us to shoot there, because a lot of them are nonprofits and they rely on donations and monies coming in from the public to sustain themselves. So we anticipate doing the final edit in probably late October, and then going to television from there. Well, I'm sure that whoever gets it's going to want to premiere, and there's a very strong chance that they may want to premiere it the next Halloween season, which could be scary for us because that's waiting another year to see it actually hit the screen. But that'll be up to the television network. But regardless, I would say sometime in 2011, it will for sure be on DVD. And maybe later this year, if we realize television's going to be too big of a wait and not worth the money to wait for them, we may just decide to go ahead and go with distribution and just put it on DVD and get it out there.
Share with us some of your favorite places and experiences and evidence that you've gotten in your ghost adventures.
You know, my favorite places are the ones that just produce, you know, because, you know, so many places you go to and you don't feel like anything's happening, and you may find something later, you know, when you're doing your review and going over all the evidence you captured. But the places where things happen real time, you know, where you hear voices and you see things and things are happening in real time, and they don't tend to be the places everyone knows about. They're places like your Brumder Mansion and things like that. You know, they're the ones that don't get any attention and they don't have the press. You know, I've gone to Limp Mansion and Waverly Sanatorium and the notoriously uber haunted places, and walk away with less evidence than, you know, Magnolia Manor in Bolivar is one of our favorites, because just something great happens every time we go there. The Decent House, which is a nonprofit ran by the Daughters of the American Revolution in Mississippi, is a great location. I mean, and so many of these are either, you know, bed and breakfasts like here at Brumder, or museums or restaurants, and so they're great because you can kind of go there. You know, you may not, you know, you may be eating, you know, some biscuits and gravy and having a coffee in the place, but you know, you still have to stand a great chance of at least having a personal experience. So any place where the normal Joe can go in and experience something in real time, to me, is a great location.
What is your founding philosophy on ghost hunting?
Well, our philosophy is to stay neutral-minded, and that is so many groups. It's always been funny to me when ghost hunters present themselves to me as skeptics, because if you were really a skeptic, meaning that you don't, you know, believe that there's a ghost at all, I don't think you'd be interested in ghost hunting. You know, I'm a skeptic. Let's see, that there's leprechauns. You know, I'm pretty sure they're probably not leprechauns. So would I be a leprechaun hunter? I doubt it. You know, so it's always funny to me when ghost hunters say, I'm a skeptic. Oh, no, you're not. You're a ghost hunter. You like ghosts. Don't give me that. It doesn't give you any more credibility to claim that you're a skeptic. So our philosophy is, you know, you don't have to be a skeptic, and you don't have to be a religious believer. Just go in with a neutral mindset, be scientific, have an open mind, and give the place a chance, you know, and use a lot of scientific method and discipline. Don't use it as an opportunity to sort of exploit the location for thrill seekers. And you know, because so many people just want to go in and see a ghost and ooh and scream and run around and then get out. And well, you know, if you want to do that stuff, then you know, go to haunted houses at Halloween, you know, that sort of thing, you know. But if you're trying to gather evidence and prove there's life after death and the existence of a soul and the existence of ghosts, well, you have to be a little more disciplined, and that's where we come from. You know, we want to be disciplined, scientific, neutral-minded, and go in and see what we can find just using that style of approach.